Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 722 narrated Abu Hurairah, the Prophet, said, "The Imam is appointed to be followed. So do not differ from him, bow when he bows, and say, Rabbana lakal hamd if he says Sami'a Allahu liman hamida, and if he prostrates, prostrate after him, and if he prays sitting, pray sitting altogether, and straighten the rows for the prayer, as the straightening of the rows is amongst those things which make your prayer a correct and perfect one." See Hadith No. 657. Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 723 narrated Anas bin Malik, the Prophet, said, "Straighten your rows as the straightening of rows is essential for a perfect and correct prayer." Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 724 narrated Anas bin Malik, "I arrived at Medina and was asked whether I found any change since the days of Allah's Messenger. I said, I have not found any change except that you do not stand in alignment in your prayers." Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 725 narrated Anas bin Malik, the Prophet, said, "Straighten your rows for I see you from behind my back." Anas added, "Every one of us used to put his shoulder with the shoulder of his companion and his foot with the foot of his companion." Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 726 narrated Ibn Abbas, "I prayed with the Prophet one night and stood on his left side. Allah's Messenger caught hold of my head from behind and drew me to his right, and then offered the prayer and slept. Later the muezzin came and the Prophet stood up for prayer without performing ablution." Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 727 narrated Anas bin Malik, "One night an orphan and I offered the prayers behind the Prophet, in my house, and my mother, Sulaim, was standing behind us, by herself forming a row." Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 728 narrated Ibn Abbas, "One night I stood to the left of the Prophet in the prayer, but he caught hold of me by the hand or by the shoulder arm, till he made me stand on his right and beckoned with his hand for me to go from behind him." Al-Kashmihani, Fath al-Bari. Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 729 narrated Aisha, "Allah's Messenger used to pray in his room at night. As the wall of the room was low, the people saw him and some of them stood up to follow him in the prayer. In the morning they spread the news. The following night the Prophet stood for the prayer and the people followed him. This went on for 2 or 3 nights. Thereupon Allah's Messenger did not stand for the prayer the following night, and did not come out. In the morning, the people asked him about it. He replied that he was afraid that the night prayer might become compulsory." Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 730 narrated Aisha, "The Prophet had a mat which he used to spread during the day and use as a curtain at night. So a number of people gathered at night facing it and prayed behind him.